Trying to get in shape for my trip to India. Christ said to go into all the world, preach the gospel to every creature. The problem is, we have no idea who they are. How are we supposed to effectively communicate the gospel to a people we know nothing about? How they think, what kind of pressures they have in their daily lives. Come with me and let's meet India face to face. It's 4:30 in the morning, and I'm here at one of the slums in Madras, India. I've gotten permission through Pastor Samuel to follow a trash collector named Boskar on his morning route. Although we live in the age of information, we know very little about poverty and what it looks like. And yet, there are over 300 million people in India alone that face poverty every day. 300 million people. That's the population of the entire United States. Total. It's much easier for me if I just ignore these people and the way they live. Seems like everyone else does. Seeing them makes me feel overwhelmed, helpless, sad, and discouraged. But God promises blessings if we do something about it. But how can we help unless we understand? And how can we understand unless we take a good look? And how can we look unless we care? And how can we care unless we recognize these people for who they really are? Our own flesh.
They are all rag pickers and papers. They pick some papers and old things and tins and bottles from the garbage, and they take it to the shop and sell them and get some money out of that, and then they try to cook, buy some groceries, rice, and cook and eat. I asked a question: why they sleep here?
How's going?
Yeah.
What are they going? எல்லாம் வெள்ளத்தில் அச்சுன்னு வந்துச்சு. மனசால மழை பெஞ்சா ஓடுறது நல்ல பக்கமா இடம் கிடையாது, துணி கிடையாது, மாற்றி கட்டிக்கிட்டு.
So they say when the flood came and the houses were washed away the other side, so they lost all their huts and the belongings and the things. So they have nothing. So they are sleeping on this platform. Totally washed away. 25 houses.
Does this happen every year?
This year it was an extraordinary flood and rain.
So do they have their cooking supplies?
Don't have anything to cook with.
Well, they all look so dressed up.
Yeah, நீங்கெல்லாம் எப்படி dress போட்டுட்டு தூங்குறீங்கன்னு கேக்குறாரு. Yeah, because of the mosquitoes, they have to have some dress on to sleep.
Is there malaria?
Yeah, இந்த கொசு தொல்லைனால ஏதாவது நோய் வருமான்னு? I see. Yeah, because of this mosquito bite, they get some fever, dengue fever. It's a disease, kind of a disease they get.
Very many people get it?
Yeah, very many people. Almost all the people in the slum will have to go through that, and they will go to the government hospital and take some treatment and get some tablet, so that will give some resistance power for them to sustain here.
So how long will they think that they have to stay here?
எவ்வளோ நாள் இப்படி இருப்பீங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்குறாரு. They will continue to stay as long as they live, because they belong to a lower caste of people, so they don't have any proper houses or any proper care from the government. they are requesting, our children are not studying. Can you do some help for them?
They're
to
what?
Get some education.
Oh, education.
Yes.
Are there schools they can go to?
இங்கே வேறு ஏதாவது பள்ளிக்கூடம் இருக்கா போகிறாங்க? They have a government school, but they don't treat the children or the teacher come to the class or to take care of them. So they are not going to the school properly. 2-3 small children of his went to the school, but nobody came to take care of them, teachers or anybody. So they all stopped. The parents stopped the children going to the school. This is his routine job. Every day he comes in the morning about 4 o'clock, and before the government, garbage cleaners comes, then they pick up the recycling things like plastic papers and old bottles and things like that. Then they go from place to place to the next one, and about 2 hours from now, his bag will be full. Then he'll go to the shop and sell them and have some money to buy some things and have some food for his family. எத்தனை வருஷமா செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கீங்க? 15 வருஷம். For 15 years he's been doing this.
The one thing the video camera's not capturing is the smell. How old is he?
எத்தனை வயசு? 45 years old.
What did you do before this?
இந்த வேலைக்கு முன்னால என்ன வேலை செஞ்சீங்க?
chemical complex.
He had worked with a chemical factory. Chemical factory.
Nitric and sulfur use.
Yeah, nitric and sulfur acids.
Then why did he leave that?
He had a kind of an accident in that company. Then he became very ill and kind of burnt all his hand and leg, he says. And then he switched off into this job.
What caste is he?
I belong to a kind of a low caste. We have 4 categories in India: Brahmins, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas and Sudras. So he belongs to the lowest caste of Sudras.
You ever run into big rats?
Yes, they are like rats and bandicoots. They eat their food from here.
What's a bandicoot?
It's a bigger type of rat.
Oh. Cross
The
between
smell
a
is
rat
too
and a cat.
strong. It's coming. I think I'll take the other side where the wind is blowing. Oh. See, there is another man, he says, they're coming like him, the other side. He has no tricycles, but he picks up in the, a gunny bag.
Oh, he carries them.
He carries them. So, yeah. So he says that maybe today I'm lucky I got a little more extra papers here.
Does that mean that he'll get a little bit more money today to eat with?
Yes, I think so.
பொண்ணுக்கு அத்தை அவங்களுக்குலாம் முறையாக கொடுத்தாகணுங்க.
சரி.
அவங்க செங்கல்பட்டில் இருக்காங்க.
More than 3,000 years ago, the indigenous peoples of India were invaded by light-skinned Aryan tribes who brought their religion from Babylon, modifying it to suit their needs. The caste system, though now outlawed, is an integral component of the Hindu view of the cycle of life. It ties in very closely with reincarnation, which says if you are good and suffer quietly in this life, you may ascend to a higher caste in the next life. which also implies that if you're a low caste person, then you must have been really bad in your last life, which means that you're merely paying the penalty for all the bad things you did in the last life. In this system, the lower castes are not recognized as being really human and are often treated worse than many of the animals which they worship. They're not allowed to go into any temple and aren't allowed many jobs except these menial, degrading jobs like picking through the trash or cleaning the sewer. The upper castes benefit greatly by controlling this large, cheap labor force. In fact, I have been told that there are more millionaires in India than in the United States. Go figure.
Amen. யார் வந்துக்கிறாங்க பாரு.
Did she sleep out here by herself last night?
ஆ இல்லை 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 அது
உங்க வீட்டு வரைக்கும் வந்துச்சு.
அதான் இவ்வளோ தூரம் வந்து.
Yeah, the water came up to this level, his house level here.
Really?
Yes, about 25 huts, which was just near to the bank of this river, washed away by the waters, flood. அதை பார்க்க முடியுமா அந்த சைடுல போய்? Up to this level, water was came up to that level. You see,
Came
where
up
you
to
were
here.
standing, where you were standing there, up there.
It looked like the water was up to there. How many people live in this place?
எத்தனை பேர் நீங்க இருக்கீங்க அதுக்குள்ள மொத்தம் குடும்பம்?
10 பேர்.
There are 10 people living in this.
And is he the only one that works?
நீங்க மட்டும் தான் வேலை செய்றீங்களா குடும்பத்துக்கு? He is the only one who works and feeds the entire family.
So what he did this morning will
Yeah.
feed the entire family.
Yes, what he did this morning with that இன்னைக்கு சேர்த்ததுல நீங்க அதை வித்து அதை வந்து சாப்பாடு வாங்குங்க என்ன? It's about 100 rupees, about $2.
Really?
Yeah, he will sell it for $2. And with that he will run the day. Just one day at a time. If he doesn't go in the morning, then no food at home.
Without Jesus and Christians like Pastor Samuel, Boskar's children will have no hope but to follow their father in this endless struggle against hunger. But if we can teach the children the gospel and how to read and write, then they will have the tools for freedom.